Now, if you've ever been to the festival before, you have no doubtly seen members of the Germantown Fire Department and members of the Germantown Police Department. Now, here with me today are Officer Ken and Fire Marshal Jody Dwyer. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
So, kind of tell me, obviously, I guess the headline of the festival is the rain. Yesterday was definitely a downpour. So kind of tell me how both departments really handled that.
You just do the best you can
Yeah.
with what's going on, handle it as it comes along.
We try to make sure that that especially the vendors here have their safety, that the tents are secure so that we don't lose into tents in high winds, and that the water doesn't pose any electrical hazards because we have a lot of electricity on the ground right now.
Now, going into this and planning, what is the fire department and police department's, what is your go-to plan for when event like things like this happen? Because in past festivals, this has not been the case, the rain at least.
Well, what we do is we have an emergency disaster plan, and in that emergency disaster plan, we have an evacuation plan established for the grounds and the campus itself, including the interior buildings, where to evacuate to. The police department helps with traffic and also helps with placing the citizens and the vendors in safe locations. And those are mapped out, and we have those in our command centers.
And the police department pretty much
Yes.
the very same thing?
Yeah, we have a plan just like they do, and
Okay.
to handle things like that.
Now, so would you say that the police department and the fire department kind of work coincide this weekend?
Absolutely. It's been that way since the beginning of the festival, and we've combined with the Public Safety Education Commission, the police department, the fire department, and the CERT citizens all combined together to make one big safety area, so to speak. And so we handle everything from first aid, emergency medical calls, to any parties that have passed out from the heat.
Okay.
And yeah.
So I guess this is, this is more of the little boy coming out of me because I wanted to grow up and I wanted to be, a police officer
heroes.
one day and a firefighter the next day. So what are some of the qualifications that it takes to be a firefighter and a police officer?
Well, the fire department is always better first, and it's always should be your first choice. Outside of that, we have a rookie school that we go through, that we put our candidates through, and it's 18 weeks. And when you complete that school, you take a test with the state to become a certified firefighter, and then you in those 314 hours, you ride out and you learn how to put your turnouts on, how to put your air pack on, what to do in a case of emergency in a fire. And so at the completion of that class, you're a state certified firefighter, and you begin riding out with the engine companies.
And then are you kind of assigned a station that you'll go to?
Right. You're assigned to a station and an engine company because we have 3 shifts that work 24 hours a day.
Okay.
So you have an A, B, and C shift, and you'll work that 24 hours with that shift and that engine company that you're assigned to.
Fantastic. Yeah. And for the police department?
Police, you have to meet the qualifications of the state, which relate to age, any past police record, but their state requirements you have to meet. Then you go to a police academy. It's 400 hours minimum, and then after you graduate from police academy, then you're assigned to an officer. You ride with him you ride with different officers for 18 weeks. At the end of that 18 weeks, then you go out on your own.
Okay.
And you're assigned a shift, and you work that shift.
Fantastic.
Okay. So do you guys do any, like youth camps or training for, the kids who aren't old enough to actually go through the real qualification setup?
Yeah, we have an Explorer program. If you're between the ages of 13 or 14 years old to the ages of 18, we put you through, it's a mini kind of summer camp or a mini Explorer program where you learn what we do and how we do. And if you graduate at the age of 17 or 18, you'll be able to actually come to the fires. You won't be able to go in, but you'll assist with setting up the rehab center or giving them for water or refreshments, changing out air packs, and you learn how to do all that to support the fire department during this ministry.
We really don't for young people. We used to have an Explorer program, but we no longer do. We do a Citizens Police Academy where we have citizens from the community come in and we show them what we do every Thursday night. In fact, we have a Citizens Police Academy currently going on. They come in every Thursday night. We show them what we do, how we do it, when we do it, that kind of thing. We also have a reserve program where people from the community can come in and they become reserves, and they reserves are working a great bit of the festival for us.
Yeah.
So they help us out where we don't have to rely on our regular officers as much. It saves us on overtime, saves the city money, but we have the reserve program, and they help us out a lot also.
Yeah, and actually that's what I was going to bring up, because we had a report on this show actually last year talking about the reserve officers. What is that like, knowing, obviously with that extra comfort? I mean, what is it like working with these volunteers that, you know, this is not their career?
They're all good guys, and you know, and they're eager to help us out. They'll come in and ride shifts. They work, you know, high school basketball games, high school football games. A lot of the things where we'd have to have regular officers take them off the street and put them in those slots.
Mm-hmm.
That, like I say, they help us out by working those events, and it really helps us out a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, I think a bug just flew on the side of your face. That side right there.
Oh.
Live television being outside, right?
There
he
we
is.
go. We'll just sort of crawl on the.
And the same for the fire department. Those reserves, like the bug, save us a lot of time. And it takes a lot of dedication on those guys' part, because they have a career and then they donate their time to the police or fire departments. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of
Oh, I
commitment.
bet.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you are both naturally role models in the city for little boys up to grown men.
And little girls.
And little girls, sorry. So what kind of, I guess, you know, what level are you held up to? I mean, obviously you are the leaders of the community.
Sure. Then there's an ethical standard and a moral standard that we as professionals present in our community and that the city expects of us. And you have to understand that kind of comes with the job, you know.
Right.
When you take this role on, or you start out in this career, you know that that's part of the job. And 9 times out of 10, it's never an issue.
Well, thank you two so much for coming on. It was wonderful hearing about who's protecting us, and
Looking out
it's
for us.
fabulous. Looking out for
Thank
us.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having us.
I'd like to thank both Officer Cannon and Fire Marshal Jody Dwyer for coming on. If you would like more information on the police department or the fire department, you can visit germantown-tn.gov.